So my recording software crashed on me. Also, as I was loading in, I noticed in this mountain over here a rather sizable, absurd abundance of undead. Looking like they were just kind of bouncing in water. That being said, they would have to be underground for that. As up here, it's just kind of mountains. They'd have to be something around down there. But I'm not seeing where they are down there. This is a good opportunity to take a nice look around, see if I can spot any light sources. Light sources, of course, being a great way to denote things such as lava, or perhaps a village. Not really seeing much of anything. I also noticed that the fog removal texture pack does not seem to be working. Doesn't seem to be functioning. You can see the limits of the spawn range over there, as that chicken just spawned in and then despawned. Yeah, you can see like over there, there's some, you can see over there, there's some lava, quite obviously. Before I leap off this cliff, because this is going to hurt. I actually visited this cliff in my very first episode, episode 0, when I managed to get blown up a little bit. Apparently, I managed to miss this log as well. Spruce log. Yep. That being said, however, Geronimo! Hey, it worked! Let's see. I think I will... Yeah, you can't cook logs in a smoker. It's one of the features of a smoker, is that you can't cook logs in it. So yeah, last we left off, I had gotten Luck of the Sea 3 on my fishing rod. Now, I am aware that fishing is otherwise rather boring. It's very repetitive, very easy. But it is a very reliable way to get mending. It's also a very reliable way to always have enough food. So it's not the most entertaining gameplay, but it's definitely a valuable tool. Fishing's the type of thing that I would normally want to do if I'm live streaming. Oops. Did it too early. But as you can see, I'm already level 3, with my level slowly climbing. Well, kind of rapidly climbing, actually. So I'm getting a lot of experience, I'm getting a lot of levels. It'll take 17 levels before I am able to rename my fishing rod. I don't need to repair the fishing rod, obviously, because it has mending. I do, however, need to rename the fishing rod. Hopefully I'll be able to rename it fairly quickly. Mending and Riptide 2. So that's going to go on a trident. It's going to give a trident mending. That's powerful. Then you can give it looting 3. I don't know if looting goes up to 5 or stops at 3, but you can give it looting, you can give it mending, you can give it all kinds of stuff that'll really make the trident more powerful. I do not know why that didn't nibble first, but okay. Whatever. It is what it is. Ooh, a llama. So yeah, other uses for fishing rods involves just simply item retrieval. So for example, I can, do that and then fish them closer and then just collect whatever I need from the process. I did not see the guy that this lead was attached to. Nor did I see that sheep. Oh my. The sheep seemingly had found a bit of lava. So I went ahead and deposited the cooked fish that I had that I probably will never get around to using, to be honest. I want to deposit the wool. I want to deposit all kinds of things here. I want to deposit the book, obviously. And I shall even deposit the log, because I otherwise have no real need for the log. Ah, there they are. I was wondering where I had hid those. I'm not too worried about not having my sword on me, as my iron axe is just as adept. Now, if I wanted to, I could completely ignore the Riptide effect and give myself the mending on one of my tools or my armor. That is entirely viable as an option. I could enchant my pickaxe, for example, give it fortune and give it mending, and then I'll just have a pickaxe that never dies. Because between the fortune and the mending, I will basically be unable to run the pickaxe down to 0. It just won't be possible unless I go out and I mine nothing but like cobblestone and iron and gold, which are things that don't drop experience because they don't drop the material, they drop the raw ore, or they drop cobblestone, or stone bricks, or sand, or dirt. But if I go mining, for example, quartz, or if I go in the nether and I start mining gold, it'll start dropping gold nuggets, which are, of course, far more better than gold ore to a degree, as the gold nuggets will drop experience, plus, of course, the gold nuggets are affected by fortune, So if you get a large enough fortune, you're going to a good enough fortune enchantment, you're going to end up with more gold than you would have had otherwise. Now this is going on my helmet. It's got projectile protection 4, which I don't really want. I want protection. But it has respiration 3. Now aqua affinity means I'm able to work faster underwater. Respiration means I'm able to breathe underwater. So let me see what that would require, what that would entail right now if I were to apply that to my current helmet. 11 levels. That's not bad. If I mixed in the mending book that was attached to the Riptide, as well as thorns, for example, I wouldn't mind applying the thorns to this book. Let me see. That would cost 8 levels, but it would become a very nice book. What about this one? That one only costs 6 or 10. Yeah, that's definitely the cheaper of the two. How about these two? Okay, so yeah, 6 levels I can get my Mending 1, Riptide 2, Respiration 3, Projectile Protection 4. I can merge all of that into one book. That would definitely reserve the mending for a helmet. I don't think I want to do that just yet. However, I might want to merge the mending with the thorns, simply because those two go very well together. Where did I just break that? Okay. So yeah, those go very nicely together. I do need a trident. I still need to locate a trident. I've yet to locate a zombie spawner. I have 2 spider spawners near my base at the moment. I'm capable of creating a string farm, spider eye farm, and experience farm. However, I would need to set it up to make sure that the spiders can't crawl along the walls to escape, for example. I would need to set it up to make sure that the various spiders don't create problems. I don't really need a string farm that badly at the moment because I don't have any villagers. If I had villagers, I would need beds. And if I had beds, then I would have, of course, a villager breeder. Because that's what I'd need the beds for. But if I'm going out to collect villagers from these villages on the outskirts of my base, like way out in the distance, because I'm currently out here in the extreme hills. That's where world spawn is, extreme hills. So that's why there's emeralds in the mine down below. That's why there's silverfish down there, because those spawn in extreme hills. I personally prefer something a little bit closer to sea level, so this entire place will end up getting lowered down to sea level as time goes on. First I have to level out the nearby mountains. So I have to level out that mountain, I have to level out that mountain, and then I'll just slowly start bringing down this place down to sea level so that I can build it up proper. With that being said, however, I do definitely need to work on the surface level more. I know I've worked a lot on the underground portion. The underground portion, of course, being very important. It's very good to upgrade the underground, but it's also good to upgrade the surface. I need to update the map of this area so that I'm able to actually see that I have finished off the pumpkins. Huh. According to this, there's supposed to be pumpkins here, but there's not. The map is wrong, oddly. Oh, I know why. It's because it's not differentiating between tilled land and path blocks. That's what the difference is. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now I want those there, put my helmet back on. Make sure I can see the sky over there, when it's nighttime. Because that way I will be able to run over to a bed, and then I will have the ability to make it daytime. Which is a very, very useful thing. I do have a regular fishing rod that is not hit with the curse of vanishing. Ooh, channeling. That's also a trident upgrade. That goes against the Riptide, though. You can pick either channeling or Riptide. You can't pick both. Channeling is lightning strikes. If you throw the trident during a rainstorm, you will end up causing lightning to strike out and land wherever the trident lands if it hits something. So if it hits a zombie, it'll strike a zombie with lightning. If it hits a creeper, it'll strike a creeper with lightning, which is a bad thing because that means that it's now a charged creeper, which means it's going to blow up a lot bigger. Now, there are farms that make use of a charged creeper. That being said, I do not plan on building a stray skeleton wither skull farm anytime soon. So, I do not require the channeling enchantment. I will definitely be using the grindstone to reclaim the book, as well as the experience that was spent on the enchantment. Considering it wasn't my experience, that nets me a profit. However, if it's a useful enchantment, I of course don't want to I of course don't want to accidentally remove a good enchantment. What are these two? Thorns, Mending, Riptide. So that's 8 levels, that's 6 levels. I'll go with that. So now I have Thorns 2, Mending 1, Riptide 2. I plan to apply that enchantment to one of my armors. I will ignore the Riptide 2 enchantment, as I do not actually have a use for Riptide 2. If I did, I simply would just take my trident over to a enchanting table where I have access to a grindstone, and I'll just go through a bunch of levels, enchanting it up, making sure that I have all of the experience that I need. That is one thing that I suppose I would benefit from having a spider spawner actively set up, is that I would have full access to my enchanting. Oh wow, I already have a full stack of raw cod. Okay, well, allow me to do this. Now, that will eat through 3 blocks of kelp exactly. On top of that, I now have the salmon set up and separated out, so I can do exactly 2 blocks worth of salmon. Meanwhile, everything just kind of slowly builds up further. I don't actually have a use for having all of this food. I'm instead utilizing it as experience. I'm just burning through the kelp in order to build up more experience. So while that cooks over there, I can't really see it from this angle, because of all of the crops being in the way. But while it cooks up, I will continue fishing, because it should not take very long. I should be able to catch a decent amount of fish, at least. Getting a lot of salmon. There we go. Something that isn't fish. As you can see, Lure 3, definitely useful. And that Luck of the Sea enchantment is going to definitely grant me a lot more enchanted books, amongst other miscellaneous materials. A good portion of what is essentially the safest method of item acquisition in Minecraft is just fishing. You can fish up a lot of different items, a very, very large variety, including all of the enchantments that you really ever want. Fishing is basically supposed to be that trick that you use when you need to prepare for the end dragon. You can just sit there and fish until you're fully decked out with your best gear, ready to go, and then you just go take on the end dragon with diamond gear that's fully maxed out. You still need to mine up the diamonds, but I've already mined all the diamonds. I have enough diamonds to build a full set of diamond armor, diamond tools. I did build all of the diamond armor, and almost all of the diamond tools. There is one diamond tool that I have not yet made, and that's simply because I'm still working through the stone. An infinity bow with Curse of Vanishing. Now this is interesting. So I already have another bow somewhere that has Curse of Vanishing. A flame bow. Where's my flame bow? Oh, I bet I know where it is. It's probably out here. Yes, right there. Flame 1, Curse of Vanishing. Okay, so here we have Flame 1, here we have Infinity 1. We'll do Infinity 1 in slot 1, Flame 1 in slot 2. Both of them have Curse of Vanishing. Together, they create Flame 1, Infinity 1, Curse of Vanishing. Now, something important to note about that bow is, while I do only need one arrow to fire it off as many times as I want, I can never put mending on it because it has infinity. So I will actually need to repair that bow. I shall utilize this golden hoe, this golden opportunity to use my golden hoe. Harvest up all of my potatoes again, because I really have no other use for running around with a hoe. Hoes don't normally interest me in more ways than one for that statement. I know dating can be rough, but there is definitely something to be said about, you know, having a girlfriend that is not a hoe, because that just sucks, you know, and not in a good way. Of course I'd stand on the cactus. Why wouldn't I? So yeah, like, the hoe has limited uses, and I don't just mean that in durability standards. I mean, there is only so much you can do with a hoe before you realize that the hoe is ultimately worthless. Let me put those down for a moment while I replant the sugarcane that I broke on accident. Pick up the potatoes. I mean, yeah, like, the hoe has a function, but you really gotta ask yourself, is that the type of function that I want to spend my resources on? Or is that the type of function that I would maybe build it once, maybe twice, probably not 3 times? It's definitely a limited use type of situation. Which is why I'm using the hoe to break crops. Because, you know, what else am I going to use the hoe for, right? I'm still working through the stone hoe. And the reason I'm using the gold one is because it has efficiency. If my gold hoe didn't have efficiency, I'd probably just throw it in the furnace and smelt it down. Because what else am I going to use the gold for, right? I could probably give it to a piglin and do piglin bartering with it, but beyond that, there's really not much use. I mean, I could probably get the same deals from a gold nugget that I could get from a gold hoe, so at least with the gold nugget, I can convert 9 of them into a stack of, into a single golden ingot. Whereas with the hoe, I'm just stuck with the hoe, and that's not good, you know? Let's see how many stacks of potatoes I end up with. Got 2 so far. Don't want to forget those. How many spare stacks of potatoes do I get? Let's see. Okay, so it looks like 2.5 that I couldn't hold. Grand total of 4.5 stacks. With a few poisonous potatoes, some cactus. Good times all around. Good times were had by all, as they say. So while the composter is toiling away at harvesting all of the potatoes into bone meal, I shall go ahead and rest up, allowing me to quickly and easily get back to work on my farm. It does appear that the smoker has completed its order of 60 cooked cod, so I shall retrieve that order. I shall deposit the 40 raw salmon into the smoker, and then I just throw away the cooked cod that I can't do anything else with other than eat, which I don't need to eat the cooked cod because I already have plenty of food. I have enough food to probably easily last the rest of the season. So I don't really need to harvest more chicken. I don't need to really utilize, you know, a cow farm for food. Instead, I need cows for leather. I need chickens for feathers. I need villagers for not just emeralds, but for their trades. I need what they're selling. So they would be an easy way for me to, for example, gain access to vast quantities of gravel, which I have vast quantities of gravel, but what if I need more? What if I'm, like, making a lot of coarse dirt? I could make a lot of coarse dirt. I could fill this entire place up with coarse dirt, but that wouldn't do me much good. I mean, it probably would. I'd be able to reclaim all the pumpkins at least. But there are limitations to what I would be able to accomplish. Instead, I want to be able to utilize my my diamond tools appropriately. I want mending on my diamond shovel. I want my mending on my diamond pickaxe. I want mending on my diamond armor, because I put a lot of diamonds into that. Literally all of the diamonds I have is waiting to be used. I randomly fished up a saddle. I do not have a use for a saddle, as I have a skeleton horse, a rather good one at that I'm able to utilize. However, I will probably use the saddle, as I also have diamond horse armor that I want to use. But I probably won't be able to do that very easily either. I do intend to make use of the capacity of renaming a bundle of items in the anvil. Instead of just one or two, I can rename, for example, an entire stack of name tags. Ooh. Well, like, this one already has a lot of the stuff I need, so I'm just going to repair this one up real quick. You can see right now, it quite clearly has almost no durability. However, with the salmon completing its cooking, keep an eye on the fishing rod down here. Boom. Just like that. That is why I am going out of my way to collect all of the different that's perfect, actually. To collect all of the different what was I saying? That's why I'm going out of my way to make sure that I have all of the food that I need. Because, yes, I could eat fish. I could eat lots of fish. You know? That's pretty easy to do, actually. You know? Yeah, I'll hold on to a salmon. But as far as how much of this stuff I actually need, it's actually a very small list. A lot of this stuff is stuff that's going to be useful later, not right now. You'll notice I did, of course, light up underwater. That's not immediately useful, but it is useful later. Instances like that where I have something I did that will benefit me eventually, but not currently. So, for example, yeah, I have all of this sugarcane. So much sugarcane. Sugarcane for days. What am I going to use it for? Whatever I need sugarcane for, obviously. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go ahead, repair up this fishing rod, probably merge it into the other fishing rod once it's full health, because I don't want to waste extra levels just to repair the fishing rod. If I'm going to transfer an enchantment, I want it to be nice and cheap. Some of the enchantments that I will be transferring will be getting upgrades. And you'll notice, even though there is experience being diverted for the mending, I still do slowly level up, even though I'm mending the fishing rod using experience points. Like just now, I still hit level 10. The fishing rod's not fully repaired yet, but it's getting there. A lot of it is getting diverted to the fishing rod for repairs, simply because the fishing rod needs repairs. You know, no biggie. I did go ahead and purchase the Final Fantasy XI Ultimate Seeker Collection from Steam. Managed to catch the sale where it was 67% off, which for Square Enix is a pretty big discount. I'm not sure if they've had bigger discounts in the past, but a good portion of Steam stuff does have a tendency to be quite expensive. I don't really keep track of, fluctuating market prices and all that. If I had the attention span for keeping track of fluctuating market prices in Steam, trust me, I probably have half of the stuff on Steam by now. But if I had that much attention span, I probably wouldn't be able to play Minecraft for 4 hours a day every day. On average, mind you. Because I'm still outputting 4 hours a day, even on days when I'm busy, like Fridays. I'm busy every Friday because that's my D&D session. But I'm instead processing videos. I literally spent 12 hours uploading videos before the videos finally completed. So these videos do require a lot of time to process, and most of it was YouTube. Most of it was just YouTube taking absolutely forever to process what is the videos coming out today. I started uploading them yesterday at like 2100, and they finished completing at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Or no, I started uploading yesterday at like 1 p.m. That's right. They finished at roughly 2 a.m. The first video scheduled for release at 3 a.m. So you can do the math on that. It's not a good number, taking 13 hours to process videos. I'm pretty sure a good portion of it was just literally the captions, the transcripts, Like, I could avoid spending 12 hours a day uploading videos. I could easily transfer the task over to my laptop where I can just spend all day uploading videos because I never use my laptop since it's extremely terrible. It's so slow. It's a dual-core, AMD dual-core integrated graphics processing unit, a GPU, which means my processor is my graphics card, or more specifically, my graphics card is my processor. It's very good for random number generation. It's great for breaking encryptions and stuff. Not so great for standard processing. So things like playing a video game. Yeah, I can play a video game where the monsters are running around everywhere a lot. But if it's something where it's an incremental and not random number generation, then I will quickly find that my incremental games will start to lag very fast if they're not optimized. And a lot of them aren't. They're incremental games. Most people do not optimize their incremental games, which is sad because sometimes, very rarely, you will find a half-decent incremental game. And then you'll be sad because it's unoptimized and you don't want to play unoptimized trash because it feels like trash. Yeah, I suppose once I get these guys out, I can switch to the fishing rod, so the experience goes to the fishing rod. There we go. Now, I get to look at this guy's trades, see what he's got. Fern, vines, lilac, red mushroom, glowstone, packed ice. He doesn't have blue ice. He does have mushrooms. He's got lilacs. He's got vines. which are fine. I don't really need them though, so I'm just save on the processing power and take him out. Don't need him wandering around. He's, you know, he's just kind of there. This would be a golden opportunity for me to gather some of my wheat. I can actually destroy one of these extra saddles. This is a golden opportunity for me to gather my wheat, gather these 2 cows. There you go. And now you're wanting to go over to this section of the base, aren't you? Yeah, this is another reason for properly flattening out the land, is now that the land's flat, they're able to navigate with ease. This is a piece of cake for them. So I'll feed you, and I'll feed you. Or I could accidentally feed them both to the same cow, because for some reason the cows have an overlapping hitbox or something. So let me grab one of these bales of hay. Let me craft up more hay. There we go. Really? There, make a cow. There we go. Now they've made a baby cow. I can go ahead and kill off the parent because I need the leather. But that was one of the achievements. Now, I get to just keep this guy's attention long enough for him to grow up. And then once he's all grown up, I can harvest him for more leather. Yes, it's cruel. Yes, it's unusual. But it is what it is, you know? And of course, this little guy's just going to follow me everywhere until he, well, until I either put away this wheat or until he dies. So, whichever works, whichever happens first. Let's see. So, either way, it's going to be 13 levels. But it will create, let's see, they'll both have mending, they'll both have lure 3. Oops. This one has luck of the sea 3. This one will have luck of the sea 2. This one has unbreaking 3. This one will have unbreaking 2. So, slightly worse fishing rod, but it's getting there. It is catching up to the primary fishing rod. Now that it's fully repaired, I don't need to carry it around all the time. I do have Unbreaking 3 Punch 1 on my bow, and then for my Curse of Vanishing bow, I have Infinity and Flame 1. If I want to make use of the meat of the animal auto cooking, I can, by virtue of utilizing, put that in there, by virtue of utilizing the flame enchantment on either a sword using fire aspect, or through a bow utilizing flame. Either one of those will generate a rather obvious conflagration. I suppose I could feed these guys for some extra experience. See what kind of sheep I get. Gray, just like your parent. And of course they wander over again. They're not able to breed yet, but yeah. Very, very useful having some form of animal pen where you can just breed up a bunch of animals. Let's see, where did I store the leads? There they are. I will also store the spare saddle here, the boots, name tags, just basically store all of this miscellaneous stuff. I'm almost full on my collection of pufferfish, which I suppose is a good thing. I'm able to store those back up. And of course, I just meander over here. Drop the items against the cactus, and away it goes. If I want to quickly and easily just roast these guys without hurting it myself, I can just push them onto the campfire. As you can see, the sheep runs around and then very quickly finds itself dying from burning to death. And that will also cook the meat. It will, however, prevent the experience from showing up. That is a decent way to acquire the wool that you need if you're looking for wool. I do not personally require wool, so I will simply allow these guys to follow me while I meander over to my pumpkin farm. I did disable my kelp farm. I kind of regret it a little bit, but it's fine. It's now raining, so Endermen are going to be very unhappy. Assuming there are any in the area. Again, the damage to Endermen from rain appears to only happen around the player. So if I come over here and I spot an Enderman like on that hill over there, the Enderman will be just fine, even though it's raining. That, however, is not just fine. It's a lot of zombies. A lot of drowned, technically. Cannonball! Huh! Made it. Okay. The reason why I'm over here is because I want their armor. Just straight up, I want their armor. That guy's got a shovel. I want his shovel. All of these guys are wearing golden helmets. You can tell because they have gold in their... What hit me just now? Did he have thorns? I think he had thorns. Weird. But yeah, like this guy doesn't have any gold on his head. So you can tell he's not wearing a golden helmet. But the other ones were. So they obviously had a golden helmet. As for the way to escape from these specific locations, you gotta break a block. That's why I know that the zombies were never going to be a threat to me when I came over here, is you legitimately have to actually break your way out. Ow. That was an arrow. Ow. 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 Back off, dude. Cause of death. Own stupidity. He just kept shooting me at point blank right into my shield, which then got him killed. Cause of death. Own stupidity. Yeah. And that'll happen. That will happen. So I need to fill in these dirt blocks so that the bad guys do not, once again, escape. Mother. Really? Really? Okay. That should not have happened. Oh, I was holding my fishing rod. So I won't find my fishing rod on my corpse back there. Instead, I will find a bunch of my armor has been reclaimed by the zombie, but my fishing rod's gone. My good fishing rod? I'm stuck with my reserve fishing rod now. So that's something I have to contend with. This is why it's important to note things such as curses vanishing. And of course, they found a sword. So they're all dangerous. Badass. Mostly I'm just trying to contend with this ground over here. I'm trying to give this zombie the option to not be a zombie. Okay, so I managed to get a Thorns 2 helmet, which is badass. Now, I need that zombie to convert into a drowned so that he can drop most of his gear. Because that's just standard fare for this type of situation. I need him to turn into a drowned. he has my pants. So the reason why it is so important that this guy becomes drowned is specifically because if he does, he will drop the items which he has in his possession, which means I will get my stuff back from him. Now, I'm currently trying to make sure that he does not get to the surface, because I don't need him being on the surface. So I will make sure that his attempts are entirely in vain. By simply digging this out 3 deep all around.